everybody, it's Fat Rogue Sarenixen, and we're playing some more Hellenica. I hope you're enjoying this series. If you are, you can show your support by booming on that like button. And if this is your first time on the channel, you get the boom, the double boom, by booming on that subscribe button for daily videos. You'll get daily videos if you do that. Daily. Alright, so where we left off, we're back up here in Athens. We have a new rogue figure, which we know who that is. We have Callus, and then we have a Luddite. I'm very interested to see what the rogue figure has to say. You're crazy. What are you doing wandering around with a theomechanical bird in the midst of these rioting Luddites? Aren't you afraid of what the Luddites will do to you? Most of the looting and riots have been contained, restricted to the city below. And if anyone does come after me, well, let's just say I can look after myself. What do you mean? Are you a member of the Pythagorean order? It would make sense that those heretics are nothing but trouble like this city. Whatever you may think of the order, do you really expect them to be fomenting an anti-technology revolution? He's got a point. So what do you make of the Alchemed's claim, heretic? He certainly has his reasons for spreading fear. Since Socrates' death, Callus has become the most powerful person in Athens. A troubling sign given the threats from the east. See, the Pythagorean guy is on our side. Guy? I thought that it was a woman. Sigh. Moving on to more important matters. What did you mean when you said the threats from the east? The system is complicated, with many variables interacting with each other in subtle ways. The equation is centered in Persia on the god king Artaxerxes, the prophecies of Pythagoras. Heretic. Diona, we don't need to listen to... You don't get to decide that. This Pythagorean mentioned a threat from the east, just like Artemis' vision. It can't be coincidence. Go on. Artaxerxes appears to be the prophesied threat to Greece. He'll try to destroy Greece from within before invading. Shield grime. The pretender king is eyeing Greece. Diona, if that's true, we've got much bigger problems than some ambitious firebrands and their unruly mob. Correction, they're the same problem. This unruly mob will keep Athens divided and weak. Unless I've made a grievous error in my calculations, they're about to embroil the northern Greece in war as well. Bah, Athenian soldiers are nothing without their steamboats. Do you think that much more of Thebes' army? If it weren't for the civil war, Sparta would strike down these Athenian rabble rousers. That's no mistake either. Alright, somebody moved here. Come on, catch up. Achaemenid, an evil spirit in the Magian religion. He's associated with evil thinking, sensual desire, and trickery. Achaemenid. This does reek of the pretender king, insidious, secretive, and manipulative. Callus continues his speech. Theban influence has grown in Athens by virtue of the theomechanical contraptions. These steam-powered scabs are a blemish on Athens, taking away jobs and livelihoods, undermining our independence. Thebes doesn't care about Athens. They don't care about how people fare. All they care about is aligning their pockets. However, unlike Thebes, Athens has not forgotten its human vigor. We won't be frightened by this act of terrorism. Today we'll show just how mighty Athens can be. Athens will rise like a seismic wave and crash down upon Thebes, washing away their corruption, just as Poseidon punished the arrogant theomechanics of Corinth. Callus is right. These theomechani have brought nothing but trouble. Come now, surely you don't mean that. There must be some benefits of theomechani you enjoy. How about the Pan-Hellenic Railroad? Surely you've ridden the trains to somewhere. Well, I suppose it did make it easier to visit my wife's parents in Thessaly, but on second thought, that's all the more reason to burn the railroad down. What about all the trade it makes possible? What about walnuts? Everyone loves those, right? Oh yes, my wife makes a delicious walnut bread. And if it weren't for the railroads, you wouldn't have access to walnuts all year round. But that's just it. Man wasn't supposed to have all the nuts he wanted all the time. Sometimes you need to tough it out. Are you saying that having access to goods you want makes you weaker? No, what I mean is unnecessary. As much as I like walnuts, I don't need them all the time. People get too used to having what they want whenever they want, and now we have to put up with those theomechani. These days, it seems like most of the city is running on theomechani. It used to be the men would get paid for doing an honest day's work. Now they babysit cog cranking, steam spewing monstrosities. Babysit? I put a lot of hard work in a building and repairing theomechani. It's true, she may seem flighty, but she'll hunt a misaligned valve with the tenacity of a hawk. All this talk of war sounds like the madness of Ares, not the wisdom of an owl-eyed Athena. Good citizen, you forget that Athena is the goddess of courage as well as wisdom. Continuing civility with these cog monkeys would be cowardice, and any who argue for it are of slow wit, better suited to be a Spartan brute than an Athenian citizen. That swine, if he were to face a Spartan in, oh, my foot. The no fighting rule goes for you too. I'm calling for an emergency meeting of the assembly to discuss Thebes' necessary punishment. I hope you will all join me in deciding a course of action that will exemplify Athenian pride and send a message that this terrorism will not be tolerated. With one hand he raises a bloodied banner. I wonder what he hides in the other. An iron fist? A bounty of Persian silvers? Or just a mirror to marvel at his magnificent conceit? Yes, but let's not wander too loudly, alright? Understood, there's lightning in the air and kindling underfoot. I thought about what you said earlier, and I guess all the cog monkeying isn't that easy, but it's not like backbreaking field work. I believe the slaves were mainly responsible for that. Well, yeah. And you must admit, a steam plow is easier to deal with. It does 3 times the work of any man, and there's no fear of it rebelling against you. The steam plow isn't the problem, that's useful. Then what is the problem? Well, the other kind of theomechani that people use, mechanical looms, brass mining drills, and such. And don't even get me started on the steamboats. Used to be Athenian rowers were the pride of the Aegean. Now they just sit behind control panels wearing silly hats. They've gone soft. But your steam plow hasn't made you soft? I already said that it's useful. You understand that Callias would ban a steam plow if he had his way, right? He better not. That's a beautiful piece of work. Paid nearly a talent for it, too. How many iron bars to a talent? What if other people feel the same way about their mechanical looms and steamboats? I haven't really considered that. Maybe you should. Well, the real problem is a railroad bringing in the rabble from all over Greece. I hear that's how Socrates' assassin made his way in. Even without the railroad, couldn't the assassin have come by boat? Well, yeah, but it probably would have taken him a few extra days to get here. More if there was a storm. It's just too easy for foreigners to get here is the point. And all foreigners are bad? Well, yeah, they're always eating their weird food and speaking with accents. Weird food like walnuts? Now, that's not fair. We use walnuts in just about everything. And how'd you find out about them? I don't really know. Likely a Persian merchant. A family friend of mine owns a walnut orchard and delights in selling the nuts to Greeks across the sea. You're Persian? Isn't it obvious? Just look at his clothes. My neighbor's family has similar clothing. So your neighbor is a foreigner? No, I mean, sure, he was at some point, but that was 5 years ago. He's basically an Athenian now. Plus, he's a great guy. And the rest of the foreigners aren't? Well, now that you mention it, I guess a lot of them seem alright. Pretty much just normal people, like those of us here not wearing a bear. It is kind of weird. Just saying. You know, that I think about it, a lot of the stuff Callis says is sounding kind of crazy. I hope we don't end up going to war with thieves. Anyway, I think I'll go home and hide my steam pile just in case. Booyah. So do you think Athens is going to war with thieves over this, based on the lies of a few aristocrats? Witness the assembly's decision yourself if you don't believe. But by then, it might be too late to stop things. It's already too late. But just because one equation is solved doesn't mean the answers to all the others are fixed. We'll find Plato. If anyone can talk some sense into the assembly, it'll be him. A single voice of reason struggling to be heard amidst a chaotic cacophony. We have to try something. Oh, it's you. It's you, it's you, it's you. Alcablaze, maybe you can help me. Plato, I thought you were moping around in the Agora. I'm afraid I'm needed elsewhere. The Alchemidi are committed to managing this crisis, and that's just it. Your family's out of control. Excuse me? Nepheli, please, let me put this more diplomatically. Alcablaze, I know your brother and Socrates were rivals in the assembly, and I understand why Callis would try to rally the Luddites to build his influence. But rallying up the Luddites like this will only plunge Athens into chaos. They attacked us earlier. See, this is what I mean. Callis is appealing to the worst in everyone and fanning the flames of hatred. It doesn't seem like he's consolidating power anymore. He's bringing Athens to the brink of war. And you want to stop him? I think we can stop him. That's why I need your help. We are some of Socrates' best students. If we speak in unison, the assembly will have to take note. And someone needs to be a voice of reason in these tides of madness. You're really committed to this, aren't you? Of course. I won't have this great city torn apart from the inside. Socrates wouldn't let this happen. Very well, I'll give you my support. When the time comes, give your impassioned speech. My brother will try to interrupt you, but I will stay his hand. If it looks like Callis can't even control his family, he'll have trouble controlling the assembly. Thanks, Alcablaze. We may not be able to stop things entirely, but we can at least delay whatever Callis is planning. Maybe all Athens needs is a chance to catch its breath and think. Socrates is dead, and the people are scared, but we can't let that rush us to decisions we'll spend decades regretting. Well spoken, Plato. It's no wonder you were Socrates' favorite. Thanks, Alcibiades. I knew I could count on you. I don't got a feeling I can count on him. You seem much more confident than before. I take it you have a plan. Sort of. Plato and Alciblaze are going to confront the assembly and persuade them to see reason. I'd rather trust my spear than the words of some aristocrats. Alciblaze, the Achaemenid. Yep, Plato figures the family name should carry some weight. That's inconsistent with the models. They never predicted an Achaemenid would attempt to defy their own. Well, maybe your models just can't account for human conscience. No, everything can be broken down into numbers. Perhaps Alciblaze has a greater bravery and independence than the rest of his brethren. Yeah, plus he probably feels bad about this way his family used his teacher's death to seize power. All the same, it doesn't seem consistent to me. Regardless of the numbers, the flow of the human heart is unpredictable. It depends on where you stab them. I'm not sure what's worse, a heretic's mass schemes or a Spartan's logic. A new path is unlocked. I was scared about addressing the assembly by myself, but Alciblaze is an Alchemeni. All he has to do is say his name and people will listen. Wow, I didn't expect Alciblaze to agree to that. He must not be such a bad guy after all. Perhaps, but maybe we should still keep an eye on him just in case. I agree with that owner. Coals can be just as dangerous as open flames. And that, my friends, means we have a decision to make, and only one to make, which will ultimately be the last choice. So we got a couple people missing here. At least 3. We should leave so we can get a good seat. This isn't the Olympics, but it's still exciting. Come on. Later at the assembly. My fellow Athenians, what? Speak up, boy. Why are we listening to this youngster? He knows nothing of the world. Enough, all of you. Socrates can no longer make his voice heard, so it falls to his pupils to speak. And what right do Socrates' runts have to address the assembly? The same right as any man, dear brother, unless you imagine us a tyranny instead of a democracy. Of course not. I just didn't want to waste the assembly's time. Thank you, Alcibiades. My fellow citizens, I see in your eyes a fever that I've known not since the tragedy of Mytilene. Remember then how furious we were, the righteousness of cause when we moved to punish our rebellious colony. Then remember the next day, the regret and the desperate effort to rescind the orders that had already sailed. And remember our shame when we were unable to stop the destruction we had set in motion. Many of you swore that never again would you give into the rabid fury of Eros. Yet here we stand, drunk of rage, ready to bring wrath upon our nearest neighbor. And for what? A rumor? We can't let Socrates' death go unpunished. When did Socrates ever speak of war as anything but a last resort? Our Delian League, the trade empire Socrates built, was not founded on conquest and bloodlust, but on diplomacy and reason. Socrates said the strength of Athens was in wisdom of her citizens, so let us honor him by following his example. He's right, Socrates wouldn't want war. Come to think of it, why are the Luddites so passionate about Socrates' death? Didn't they hate him when he was alive? That's enough. The assembly will hear the truth. Alcibiades, what are you doing? I'm sorry, but I can no longer allow you to dishonor our wise teacher and smear Athenian traditions. What? Plato is a traitor, waving Socrates' bloody robe to hide his own treachery. He and his foreign thugs threatened me earlier. They demanded my support in their scheme to manipulate the assembly. And though I fear for my life, I simply can't stand by while Socrates' death is being used for political gain. That's not true. Don't lie. I saw you and your four cronies speaking with Alcibiades right before the assembly met. Seize the foreigners. They won't get away with this deceit, Diona. Let them try and take us. Brasidas, think of how many Athenians we would be hurt fighting our way out of here. If we do that, we prove the Luddites right. That foreigners can't be trusted. A Spartan never surrenders. It's more like temporary diplomacy. A dozen Athenian guards wouldn't be much of a fight anyway. And here we are. That didn't work out so well. Why did we ever think to trust Alcibiades? I should have smelled his deceit. Yeah, he was the one that threw you in Hades, fool. I'm so terribly sorry, Dion. I really am. I had no idea he'd do this. Never trust a silver-tongued snake. We need to get out and soon before the Athenian army marches out. If we had a file, Skylax, maybe melt the bars with your magic. Steel-willed as we might be, we would melt long before the bars. Well, maybe. Someone's coming. Hey, it's pirate smuggler dude. I see they locked you up too. Macarios, why are you here? Well, they say a good smuggler's never caught, but I guess I'm just an alright one. Lucky for me, my guard has 3 daughters who all loves dolls. So I made him a deal. Can you let us out? Happy to oblige. Thanks. Now, where's the exit to this dungeon? I've been trying to figure that out for the past hour myself. Don't worry, we can just follow down his nose. I'm not so sure. This place reeks of all kinds of vileness. The courtyard is north of us. If we head there, we should be able to find a way out. Then let's go. You heard that? Now, how did he know? Looks like it's almost battle time. Hey, why did you stop? People. Callis and Alcibiades. What are they doing here? They've come to mock us, the swine. Quiet down, they haven't noticed us. By Athena, what's so important that we must meet in this wretched place? I'd like you to meet an exceptional individual. What was wrong with meeting this person in either my home or yours? When you meet her, I believe you'll understand. Just as you requested, I've brought you the leader of Athens, my goddess. Goddess, who are you? How good of you to join us, Callis. I can do wonders for you in Athens, and all that's required is for you to submit to me. Is this a joke? You're as dirty as a pig and as shriveled like a... Silence. You humans are such arrogant ingrates, woefully ignorant of your place. But it wasn't always that way. Yeah, we know. When the storms came, age esteem, you got forgotten, you cried a little bit, and you wet your bed. Yes, vile threats, impressive verbiage. I've been making speeches like that for decades. I won't be swayed by some filthy vagabond just because she shouts. But you don't realize whom you're speaking to. This is the Titaness, Gaia. What fool do you take me for, Alcibiades? I'm my own master, and I'll serve no one. Then I have no need for you. That's Artaxerxes' mad dog general, Sisyphus. But what's he doing here? What do you want? And the rat politician, I'm going to enjoy seeing you cower. I'm sure you'll do well to dispose of this vermin. Now I have other matters to attend to. We have to stop Sisyphus and save a wormy Athenian. We'll be lower than worms if we don't try. Stop right there, Sisyphus. Don't you lay a finger on him. You didn't try very hard. Oops, haha. Now we have more pests. Alcibiades, why are you doing this? Your own brother is... Quit sniveling. I was hoping for such an outcome. Callous arrogance was truly obnoxious. And with him gone, the assembly will look to me as their new leader. What about everything Socrates has taught us? Compassion and wisdom and helping others. This isn't debate anymore, though I've clearly outwitted you at that too. By the way, did you know that prisoners go missing from this dungeon quite frequently? I thought they escaped. Some, but not 6 of you. Not you 6. So much for being Socrates' favorite student. Guards. See, I thought that was kind of arrogant. Oh, there's some harpies in here. Oh, no. 9 minions. Reduce harpies' attack damage 5 times. Alright. Booyah. The first thing we gotta do is get rid of this thing. So, you need to jump up here and shoot. What can we shoot? There's a few. What's going on? Oh. Boom. You go right there and attack this. You, what do you got? Shoulder charge and toss. And punch. Let's punch this bird right here. Is it bird not there? Oh, he's up on the roof. Well, if I can't reach him, I can go here. Punch this guy. Will you let go of that, please? Please. There we go. Thank you. Boom. We'll make sure he's gone. Put you up here and inspire everybody, because that's what you do. Put you here. We'll make sure that you're gone. You up to here, and we'll do a bear dozer to here. And I think that's it. Let's see how that goes. Booyah. Boom. Wow. Ow. 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 Alright, so we got 2 magic users. And a bunch of backstabbers. Alright, guys. We'll have to see how this turns out next time. This has been the Fat Broke Sarenixen. I want you to enjoy your day, enjoy your life, and keep on gaming, y'all. And may God bless you. You know He loves you. Over now.